Hello friends, welcome to the session. In last session, we learned about use ref hook, and in this session we will learn about handling API calls using Axios. So for that, let's quickly install Axios. And to install Axios, all we have to do is here npm install save and Axios. So what this does is it will download the Axios package and keep inside the node modules folder, and inside our package.json it will add one dependency which is Axios and its latest version. So till this downloads, let's clean up the previous project. So I will just close it for now. So inside the app we will just clean out everything. We will clean out everything and we will clean out this useref demo, and we will write fetching data from Axios. So this ref is no longer provided, so this is no longer used. So now let's see what is happening in the UI. So we have nothing but fetching data from Axios. So what we will fetch is we will fetch API from this JSON placeholder. So we will fetch this data and we will show the list of the user with their email in the UI. So to do that, let's go into the code, and I think our installation is completed. So let's close up this and let's close this. So for making API request, what we have to do is we have to call that URL using Axios. So to do that, I will create one function which will be like fetch data, and here what we will do is we will do Axios, and it is importing Axios from Axios. See, it is already automatically importing. So Axios dot we will do get request. There are different types of requests. They are get, post, patch, and there are different others as well. So inside get we will pass in the URL we want to request. So in that case this is our URL. So let's pass in here. So after that what we will do is we will just simply write then, and inside the then we will get response. So for now let's just console log the response. So you can write anything in place of res, so that will work. So also if response did not come, error came, then we will catch the error like this. So here also let's do console dot error and let's log that like that. So we need to call the fetch data function in order to run this whole bunch of code, right? So the API call is always done in react.useEffect, and in class component it is component did mount. So after component did mount we will call this fetch data. So this will simply fetch the data, and let's see in the UI. I think it is fetched. So inside our console what we can see is we are having an object of data from, like these are our data which are populated here as well. See the same Lenny Grime. So inside this we have got so many things, right? So we have got configuration, and we have got like headers, request status, and everything like that. So all we need is data. So we can directly pick here data is equal to res dot data. We can directly pick the data only like that. So in order to show this data in the UI, we need to put this data in some state, right? So let's create a use state one, const state set state react dot use state, and inside use state what we will do initially is we will make one object and we will write status idle initially, and we will write data null initially. So while this fetch request is happening, what we will do is we will just set state and we will write like status, we will make it loading, and we will keep the data null because data is not yet fetched, right? So when the data get received, what we will do is we will change the status to data, and inside the data we will just write data. So in like in newer version of JavaScript we don't need to do this, because if we write only this data it will automatically bind this data here. So in error what we will do is we will just simply set state, but instead of data we will write error, and data we will write error. So let's get rid of the console log. So now what we can do is we can just let's give one break line and let's do some ul and let's put in li's. So this li's need to be dynamic, right? Whatever the thing is in our state. So to do that what we will do is state dot data dot, and we will use map function. Map will receive item and we will return li from the item, and this li value will be, so let's see what is there. There is like name, username and email, so we will use name and email for now. So what we will do is item dot name, and let's give some big bracket and write item dot email and close that big bracket. So this dynamically rendered like items should be passed in key value, right? So to pass key just simply give item dot id, since our id field is unique in the API, so we will give id as a key to this item. So now I think this will not work directly. Let's see what is happening in the UI. So state dot data is null because yeah initially there is no data to loop over. So for that what we will do is we will just show this on order list when state dot status will be data, because only in this status case we will have the data in our state, right? So to do so we will need to pass in that ul above, so this should work. So we can even write like if the state dot status equal to loading, let's show one paragraph which will be loading loading, which will have loading, right? So if the status is error, we can even show like paragraph with error occured occurred, and we can like even show the error object here. We are saving the error also in data, so we can like simply json dot stringify and show that state dot err state dot data here in case of error, right? So let's give in one break line here, so this should work fine. So let's see what is happening in the UI. So we have like all the usernames with email address in a list, so pretty easy, right? So pretty easy to fetch from Axios. So API call is limited to only this GET request. So the answer for that question is really no. We have different types of API calls, and we just always don't fetch the data and show in the UI. Sometime we will take the input and send to the server, and we will do so many things like that. So for that we have Axios dot and another method post, patch, put. We can use any other method based on whatever the backend developer make the API. So in here what we do is we will just simply write our URL here, and we will pass the data as a JSON object. Like I need to register name as like bog, like that. If I send such request, then what happen is backend will receive this object from the client side, so they can use logic and fed to the database. So that is like beyond the scope of our lecture, but for your understanding, so we can use Axios with different method like so. So that's it for this session. So in next lesson we will learn about React routing and how to navigate from one screen, how to navigate, and how to navigate from one page to another page using React. So thank you for watching.